What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome to a FIFA 19 road to glory discussion video. So basically guys, first and foremost, thank you for being here, thank you for tuning in, thank you for showing up. If you could drop a like on the video, it'd be very much appreciated. Secondly, you're just going to have some FIFA 18 gameplay. I literally just went into a quick D1 game just to get some gameplay on the screen. I don't know how much of it you're going to see, if you're going to see all of it or not. Depends how long I talk for. Sometimes I could talk for too long, sometimes not. I didn't want to do this as a Ruiner Randomer, as like a live video, because I actually want to discuss some of the points in detail, and I can't do that when I'm playing live. So, basically, FIFA 19 Road to Glory, I've been thinking about it for a few months, about potentially doing a pack-only Road to Glory. And when I say a pack-only Road to Glory, I do not mean spending FIFA points. I mean just a normal poor man's Road to Glory, but not using the transfer market for anything other than being able to trade and make profit. We'll get into why I want to do that in a second, but to explain a little bit more in detail how it would work, essentially I would play the game modes available: squad battles, draft, FUT champs, and FUT rivals. And to improve the team, I can only use the players that are pack pooled or via SBCs. And to be able to generate coins for that and to just get packs in general, we can use a traditional game modes. But as I just mentioned, I would be able to use a transfer market. I would be able to buy players, store them in the club. I just couldn't ever use those players. The only reason they would be useful for is to sell on, to make profit, to use that profit to then open more packs. So that would be the idea behind it. And the reason why I feel like doing this and where this came from is because in the Road to Glory last year, I just got too much too quick. You know, I had around 8 million coins worth of assets in the club by Christmas. You know, a New Year, when Team of the Year dropped, I lost like 1.5 million coins literally overnight. And it didn't even impact my series at all. And it was all just a bit too easy. So I tweeted about it, and I talked to Nick about it, and I talked to a few others about it. And for me personally, there's a few positives that would come out of having a pack-only Road to Glory, and a few negatives that will come out of a pack-only Road to Glory. The negatives could be, and I'm going to take comments that kind of address that each one. So the negative could be... The Dark Heist tweeted me and said, normal Road to Glory. I asked basically on Twitter, what would you prefer, the normal or pack-only Road to Glory, and why? And I ask you guys the same thing. After hearing me talk about this here for the next 10 or 15 minutes, what would you guys prefer? Dark Heist said, normal Road to Glory. Imagine getting to the end of FIFA and not playing with the players you want. And there was another comment along the same sort of lines of Electricize says, pack-only could kill the series if you just get too unlucky for too long. Personally, I'm a fan of only first owner cars myself, but I'm not sure how entertaining it could be because of RNG. And that is definitely something to consider, you know, and that's something that could have negative impacts for a whole Road to Glory for year, you know, all the way down. Like the one of the negatives could be that if I'm not lucky enough in the early stages, in the first sort of 2 to 4 weeks, to get even a decent enough meta squad via packs only, I'll be so far behind the curve in terms of a competitive team that I will just be losing a lot more games, and it will make it even harder to get a big team. And I have a feeling that that could potentially turn a lot of people off of the series, and it could just make the series dead boring, because if I'm only able to get, you know, like gold 3 or silver 1 in FUT champs because I just don't have a team, you know, maybe I've got a 76 rated goalkeeper still, or just a striker that's too slow, or centre backs that don't work, maybe I don't have the chem styles to put on my players because I haven't packed them yet. Like, you know, the early stages could get really, really tough if I don't get lucky. On the flip side, of course, if I do get lucky and if I pack something huge early on, I could either use it and build teams around that as kind of like the core player, or I could sell it, get a whole bunch of coins, open a whole bunch of packs, and just strengthen the entire club. And that I think that appeals to me personally. I think the positives of a pack-only Road to Glory are that it will allow a Road to Glory to last longer, for the simple fact that I'm not just going to be able to go out, get some coins from FUT champs, from FUT rivals, from squad battles, and then just go out and buy the team that's the best, you know, other than Icon's the best possible team, and then just, okay, now I'm back in that mold of I'll just rinse the whole game, and after 10 weeks I'm going to have 5, 6, 7, 8 million coins worth of gear again, and it's going to be basically a dead Road to Glory. And although I did enjoy the Road to Glory all year, all the way through footy specifically, and so on and so forth, it did get really hard from January through to team of the season for about 4 months there. the road to glory was just tough. I didn't enjoy playing squad battles anymore. I didn't enjoy playing foot champs anymore. I didn't enjoy the fact that I already had such a sick team, and I was basically just kind of moseying through, and it wasn't a good look. And I worry that that'll be the same thing with a regular road to glory. One of the other questions that got brought up quite a lot. I picked the legend, his comment here. He says, "Standard road to glory, but don't spend as much time as you did, so you can enjoy it more." The problem with not spending as much time means that you again fall incredibly far behind the curve. So if I was going to not spend as much time on it and just do foot champs to a small degree and do squad battles and whatever to a small degree, I wouldn't even be able to afford the players early days, which means even though I could buy players and use the market, I still wouldn't be able to buy the team that would be able to compete, and I'd just continually fall behind. And I love FIFA at the start. I love grinding. I love spending a lot of time on this game. But the problem is, we got to a point where I had so much so quick that the grind was done, and at that point it was maintaining. And what I want and what I feel like I can get out of the pack only road to glory is a constant year-round grind, because every pack's going to be important. Do we put those players in a 2-player upgrade pack to try and improve the squad, or do we hold on to them and either sell them when they're pertinent because of marquee matchups, or use them for marquee matchups, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to do marquee matchups? And a lot of the questions, and again, let's try and find the comment. The comment says, okay, I didn't actually pick it up, but somebody said, like, how are you going to do SBCs? Well, early on, it'll be quite tricky. We'll be able to do the basic ones and stuff, but to get most of them done, it will be a task. And what I like about the idea of the pack-only road to glory is that it will genuinely be something that could take us all year to complete our ultimate team. This year we got it early. When Team of the Season came around, we was able to play with all the Team of the Season cards. When Festival of Fuck came around, I mean, my club is just stacked, right? It's just fully stacked, everything in there. And with a pack only road to glory, that won't necessarily be the case. It might be really tricky. I might pack a card that's really good, say the Cristiano Ronaldo from Juventus, but I can't use him because I don't have a Calcio 18 to fit him in. So, now do I sell him? Do I use the coins? I don't know. I think it just gives more food for thought. I think it could have potential long-term benefits. And Finlay says pack only because it would be a true grind and show what you can do without playing games. I think he means just with playing games, because I obviously would be playing games and just not spending any FIFA points. And Ben says, standard is best. Loved coming home to watch an episode of playing FIFA. And somebody else said standard. Most of us like to use the strategies you show to grow our squad without spending. However, I think, so this is what I said at the start of the video, I think a lot of people are confused. It won't be a pay-to-win pack-only road to glory. It will still be a poor man's road to glory, but pack-only. And I think a lot of people think that it will change the content outlay and it will mean that the road to glory doesn't get uploaded as often or whatever. But I actually think different. I think it'll be, I think a lot of people think that it won't be relatable. But I actually think my road to glory last year, my FIFA 18 road to glory, actually wasn't relatable either, because very few people, if any of you guys that were watching, were able to get top 100 squad battles. Very few of you were able to complete the 40 games of weekend league, let alone get elite. Basically every week we got elite. So few of you were able to hit Division 1 as early as I did, to win the DKTs. It's near impossible to follow my road to glory anyway, to a certain degree. Obviously, you can follow the general idea of it, like, hey, this is the teams we're building towards, this is the investments for this week, this is what we're hanging on to for these reasons. But with a pack-only road to glory, because I still will be able to use the market for investing, we'll still get that. And I personally think it will become more relatable because I won't have the best teams the quickest, because I'm going to have to pack it. So, some of the complaints last year were that you should limit yourself to X amount of time per day and this and that. And I obviously don't want to do that. I don't want to sit there and be like, oh, time's up on the road to glory, got to go now. But what I want to do is still be able to give you guys interesting, engaging content. Sean says pack only, so many ways to get packs and more of a grind. And Shearer says pack only road to glory mainly due to longevity. I watched all of your road to glory last year but got bored after team of the year. Hopefully this would make it harder, therefore make it more interesting. And that's my perspective, my positive perspective. Obviously on the negative side of things, if we don't pack anyone good, it could be a hard fail. But what I thought is if we spend the first 3 months doing a pack only Road to Glory, if it is a hard fail, we can then either restart a brand new Road to Glory in January and go again from scratch, or we can turn the pack only Road to Glory into a regular Road to Glory, sell everything off, and then just start rebuilding and go from there, and you know, start completing SBCs and so on and so forth, and buy the players that we need. One of the biggest negatives of starting late is that we will miss out on a lot of the early SBCs that might go and never come back, like Futmas SBCs and things like that, which obviously then also adds into the whole thing about me. Like, if I want to have those SBCs, if I want to have a club big enough with a pack only Road to Glory early on, I'm going to have to grind hard, and that actually means more content for you guys and better content, because it means that all the bronze packs that I do, right, like at the start of the game this year, I did a lot of bronze packs, I discarded a lot of the players, didn't do anything with them. Well, in FIFA 19, if I'm doing a pack only Road to Glory, saving all of those duplicate bronzes, turning them into silvers, turning them into gold upgrades, and then turning those gold upgrades into better old gold upgrades could have massive implications going forwards. But it just means that I would have to grind harder and harder and harder to make sure that I was able to get the players and have a base foundation in the club available so that we could complete SBCs. And in terms of icon SBCs and stuff, like, it would be very difficult to complete them, but I like that. I like the fact that it might take us a long time to get through to completing some of these icon SBCs, because I can't just go out and buy an 87 rated card, because I wouldn't be allowed to. But if I pack something, it would be useful. Or for rewards from Foot Champs monthly rewards and stuff like that, all of those cards now are going to have some huge value and huge reason for me. So there's that. And in terms of what your man said there, what Shira said about it getting boring after Team of the Year, I noticed a dramatic decrease in views after Team of the Year in the Road to Glory. You know, we were getting well in excess of 100,000 views per video in the first few months. Team of the Year comes around, and I dropped from like 120 to 150 all the way down into the 90s and 80s, and then it slowly kept dwindling down into the 70s, down into the 60s, even down into the 50s and 40s until Team of the Season came. And it picked up a few times for a few of the promos, but generally speaking, until Team of the Season came, it was around 40 to 60,000 an episode. Then Team of the Season picked it back up again to 80 to 100,000 an episode. Then it dropped again. Then it picked up again, and then it finally dropped off after Futties. But I think with a pack-only RTG, we could have long-term success for the simple fact that there is always going to be something to keep grinding towards. And I think that's what a Road to Glory is. It's about the grind. And I think the grind is too easy for me personally because of how much time I'm able to put into the game and how good I am at the game. And I'm not saying I'm great or anything, but I can hit the good reward structures. So because of those two things, I think the game becomes too easy for me to hit that end game. And I want to create something that will last long. The other negative of having restarting the Road to Glory is not only do we miss out on potential SBCs because we can't complete them on the pack-only Road to Glory, we also miss out on those SBCs if we restarted because we have missed them. Like if I restarted, let's say 3 months in, okay, pack-only Road to Glory is not working, so let's move on to the regular Road to Glory, let's restart from fresh. I'm going to be starting 3 months behind the curve, and it's going to take a fair bit of grinding to get up to scratch. And hey, that actually might be a fun thing. That might be something that's awesome to do and awesome to get involved in. Ultimately, guys, what I do and how I do it will be heavily determined by what you guys want. If it's a split, I don't know what I'm going to do. A lot of people say, why not do both? I don't have the time to do both. A lot of people say, why not do the pack only on your main channel and the regular Road to Glory on your second channel? I don't want to, again, put myself through having to play 2 weekend leagues, 2 sets of squad battles, 2 sets of FUT rivals. It's honestly just too much work. So it's either going to be a regular Road to Glory or a pack-only Road to Glory that can turn into a regular Road to Glory or get restarted when we just have a look as to whether it's good or bad. And based on what I've seen on Twitter, it is quite split. People don't really know what they want. And for example, the comment I just got from Sean, he says standard Road to Glory for me. I like the fact that I learn little tips along the way that benefit my own account over the course of the year. But do you what feels best for you? I'll be watching either way. And I can't understand, and please, I'm not trying to be a dick or anything. I genuinely can't understand his mindset of. So he thinks that he's going to lose out on little tips that I give in a Road to Glory because it's going to be pack only. But if anything, it's going to give you even more tips and more help because I'm going to be showing you how to do it with not only not spending any money, but not even using a transfer market. So I don't think there's going to be a lack of tips there. I think there's going to be an increase in tips and an increase in better content. And then Blake Phillips says standard spending money isn't an RTG. And again, it's not about buying FIFA points. There will be no FIFA points bought or anything like that. Stefan says, I see a lot of people who want you to stick to the normal Road to Glory, and I think that would be the safe route. I said a pack-only Road to Glory from release is an incredible novel idea. That said that a pack-only Road to Glory is an incredible novel idea. I can think of many people doing a traditional RTG for FIFA 19, but none that are doing pack-only. And what I would look forward to, you know, in my mind, I would like to see what I'm able to achieve by the end of the year with a pack-only Road to Glory. And that for me, that's just super intriguing because with a regular Road to Glory, I know I'm just going to be able to get the best players. It might take me 3 months or 6 months or 8 months, but I know I'm going to be able to get the best players. With a pack-only Road to Glory, I am bound by the luck of the pack gods. And that's exciting for me. But anyway, guys, I've talked long enough. This is going to be the end of the video. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.